You thought you had a bad morning? Let me tell you about Stephen's morning this Shabbat day. The following story is true. Every detail that I'm telling you, I have witnessed myself. I was on the phone with him on a video call, and therefore I can vouch for that. But the story doesn't start today, actually. The story starts yesterday. I sent Stephen a package for his birthday from Israel. And the package was delivered yesterday, 11:20 a.m. It said on the USPS website, delivered to the parcel. Well, I sent him the message to go and take it, and well, lo and behold, the package isn't there. That was yesterday. This morning we figured, well, the package not there. I guess we gotta go and deal with that. Gotta call the post office, gotta talk to the complex management. It's obviously in somebody else's box because it's been confirmed to be delivered and put in a parcel locker. The problem is it wasn't his parcel locker because apparently there's a new mail lady that can't see right or whatever. So I call him the usual time, our Shabbat morning. And well, lo and behold, more trouble. His toilet broke. The man cannot use the toilet in his own apartment this morning because it doesn't work. Something in the pipes, it's gone. And he lives in a complex. He doesn't really have much of an access to these things. He gotta use the people, the maintenance people that need to come. But it's 6:30 in the morning. They're not gonna be there for a few hours. So he go, well, I gotta use the bathroom. He lives in a complex, so he wants to go to the pool. There's a little pool section, and with that pool section, there's a bathroom there. But as he's already getting dressed to go down to the pool section to use the bathroom, well, turns out they have time locks on it that only opens up at 8 a.m. because in the city where he lives, there's a homeless problem. And the homeless people have been coming in, jumping over the fence and sleeping in the bathroom. And so the complex put time locks that even with the key that he has, you cannot open this until 8 a.m. So he goes, well, what do we do? It's already 7 a.m. He's thinking, well, there's a mall nearby. Maybe the mall is open already. It's Christmas. We might open early. So he drives past the mall and lo and behold, the main doors are open. The mall itself is closed. The stores open at 10 a.m., but the main doors were open. So he goes inside, he goes to the restroom, and well, the restrooms are temporarily closed. We go, Papa, what do we do? It says, well, go to the second floor. There's another restroom on the second floor. Goes to the second floor, and praise be to God, the man can get some relief. It's already like 8 a.m. by now, after all of that trouble. And then he goes, well, actually it was before 8, I don't remember the exact hour, around 8 a.m. And he wants to go back into his car now. We figured, well, the postal office opens at 9. Maybe we can do another lap, maybe we can do a little study or something. But he comes to his car and his car won't start. One of those hybrid cars, Ford Fusion junk that he got from the dealership that tried to give him a good deal, but and the car won't start. Why? It's doing some sort of a maintenance thing. You can't start the car because it's one of those hybrids. And he's sitting there and he's sitting there and he's sitting there waiting 20, 30, 40 minutes. The car won't start. And then eventually it just shuts down altogether. The lights won't turn on, the clicker won't even work, can't even lock the car. He goes, well, what do I do? He called the dealership. They say, call AAA, maybe the battery's dead. He's calling AAA. They say, well, we gotta get a battery technician. It's gonna take him about 45 minutes, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to tow you to the dealership. And his dealership is in Upland, California, which is about a 45-minute drive from where he was. And this is all on Shabbat, mind you. And this is about almost 9 a.m. by now. And we're waiting. What can we do? They said 45 minutes. We gotta sit there and wait. So we're sitting there and we're still on the phone. And Stephen says, well, since we're just sitting here, got nothing to do, why don't we start our study? Because we do our weekly Torah study on Shabbat. Over the phone, we read the word and we study, we pray, we meditate. So we were just talking about, what do we read today? And I told him what I've read in my morning, because obviously I'm 10 hours ahead. I'm in Israel, he's in California. I already read in the morning. I told him what I was reading, and we said, why don't we start? And as soon as we open, my app on the phone and to start our study, lo and behold, the car starts. The car turns back on. We go, wow, praise be to God. So then he goes, I gotta call AAA and cancel the tow truck that is already on its way. And actually before that, he called the complex to let the leasing office know about the package, that maybe they can put a notice on the parcels that if the mail lady shows up, she can fix it, or if the person whose box is where she put his gift can see that and know who it was intended to. We don't even know where they put it, which box. So he calls the complex, and then he also calls them to let them know about the broken toilet. We gotta get the maintenance people. It's already 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. by this time. So he calls them to get that started, and then he goes, it's 9:30, the post office is open, why don't we drive over to the post office? Drives over to the post office, and outside of the postal office, there are 6 people with cameras and microphones doing something. Nobody knows what they're filming. They're getting in people's faces, putting their cameras in people's faces, and first reaction for Stephen is, get away from me, right? But he doesn't do that. Instead, he goes, what are you guys filming? He goes, they don't say anything. So he says, can I say something? They just give him a thumbs up, and he starts preaching. He goes, Merry Christmas to you, and I just want to tell you about what Christmas really is about. I just came from the mall, and I saw everywhere you had Santa Claus and reindeer and gifts and elves, but not even one memory of Jesus, Yeshua, the Mashiach, the Christ, after whom it is called Christ Mass, the birthday celebration of Jesus. And he goes, you can't really blame the Muslims or the unbelievers for this. These are the people that claim to believe. It's the Christians who don't even give homage to their Christ, their Savior, their Lord, whom they claim to believe in. It is the Christians who bring up this whole Santa mess with the evergreen tree that is forbidden. But don't you know that Christmas really is a celebration of death? The baby who was born to die? And it's not Easter, by the way. That's a pagan goddess of fertility. He goes, it's Pesach, the Passover. Yeshua was born in the spring. He's the Passover lamb. That's why the shepherds were out in the field. Nevertheless, if you celebrate Christmas, you should at least celebrate Christ. And he just preached to them, 6 cameras filming him and a microphone over his head. And then he goes in to the post office where he knows the people for over 20 years, talks to this one guy, and he goes, what's going on with those cameras outside? And the guy that works at the post office said, I saw that, I yelled at them. And Stephen goes, I didn't yell at them, I just preached to them. And the guy goes, your response was better than mine. And he said that not knowing about Stephen's morning so far. He just started his day and he already had no patience and no tolerance for people with cameras. But Stephen, a man of God, despite all the trouble he's been suffering on his Shabbat, the day of rest, he still found it in his spirit not to get angry at people pointing cameras in his face, getting all up in his face without even understanding why. But he just said, hey, this is a great opportunity to share my faith. You give me a camera, you give me a microphone, I can share my faith. And so he went in the post office, talked to the guy, he looked up at the tracking number, asked for the address, and called that mail lady, telling her, hey, you put it in the wrong box. I got Steve right here. He showed me the tracking number. It says it was delivered. You put it in the wrong box. Of course, some new lady or whatever, and he told her, you gotta fix it, so why don't you go back there and put it outside of his door now. So Stephen, goes back home now to the complex, and by this time the maintenance people are there, so as soon as he comes in, he sees the maintenance guy, they walk up to the apartment, and he goes to fix the toilet, get that thing all solved, and as we wait, even to this very moment, the package is on its way. And Lord willing, by the time I finish recording this message, could be by now, the package has already arrived. And we can finally have ourselves a peaceful, restful Shabbat the way it was intended to be. And all of this comes to show you that life isn't perfect. Life is not trouble-free. Even if you are a believer, giving your life to the Lord does not exempt you from real-life problems. These things happen. You cannot even make this up. But God is behind everything. And He allows us to go through trouble so that we can A, grow and become stronger, and B, be a witness to the strength that He gives us through this trouble. How many people could go through what Stephen went through and not lose their marbles, as they say? On his day of rest, he just wanted to have a calm morning, make his breakfast, have his coffee, have our little study. Enjoy his birthday gift that I sent him specifically from Israel. Took a long time to get there. But, the adversary is always at work. And that's fine, because so is God. And now, happily ever after, everything got resolved, and the day is just beginning. So give God the glory. No matter what you go through, trust in the Lord. If you trust in the Lord, hand your troubles over to Him, He's gonna work it out. Don't worry about it. Yeshua was sleeping on the boat in the middle of a storm. The disciples like, how can you sleep? The storm! He goes, oh, you of little faith. And he just rebuked that storm and went back to sleep. Why worry? If you're a true servant of the Lord, don't you know that Papa is in control? Nothing is out of His reach. He's in control. If it's happening, He's doing it. So why worry? We know His plans for us. We know He's taking care of it. So just trust in the Lord, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. And just to give you an update, the package has arrived. Praise Papa. The package has arrived. Praise Papa.